Welcome to the 90th Annual Seattle Sports Star of the Year Awards. We're at the Summit at the Seattle Convention Center, and we're on King 5 Plus. The digital app, we're on for the next hour, 6 to 7 p.m. Chris Egan, you know his name. This guy here is much bigger than either one of us.
Yes, he is.
Brian Schmetzer,
I
Sounders
don't know
head
about
coach.
that.
That's why we're starting out with Brian tonight. Team just keeps winning, and he just keeps coming out here and talking about him. And you know, you're here tonight. Albert Rusnak is up for Male Athlete of the Year.
Super proud of him.
Yeah, and he's, you know, let's talk first about your Sounders team, and then we'll get into Rusnak a little bit. But
Sure.
great win last night against Antigua. Nice little roll in CONCACAF. You're really off to a good start.
Well, that was a tough game, and I really loved the crowd, the fan support last night. I thought they were awesome, but the team and the crowd, they were playing off each other because the guys felt the energy. The guys are playing some good, entertaining, attacking soccer, so that made me happy. And, you know, 3-1. You can't complain.
You know, he talks like a coach, though. You know, he's like, oh, it's a tough game. It's like, no, it wasn't, Brian. You honestly, you went down there and you whooped them, and you came up here and you whooped them, and it's like, it was just, the guys looked like at the end there, everybody wanted a point. Everybody wanted a goal.
Everyone wanted to score,
assist,
yes.
anything.
That is, Paul, you are so right. I had to chastise them a little bit at halftime because after we scored the first goal, yes, we took our foot off the gas a little bit. They equalized, which I didn't like, but you know, they're kids. They like playing. They like scoring goals.
Yeah, lots of smiles.
Albert up for Male Athlete of the Year. I think he set the club record for assists last year, 19, I believe, in all matches. Just your thoughts on him and what he meant to this club last year and this year.
Yeah, we've had a lot of great soccer players on this club, and you know, Nico Ladero, Clint Dempsey, Ozzy, a lot of guys. But Albert surpassed all of those really talented players with his goals and assist totals. He had like 29 goal and assists. If you combine both of them, so he had a fantastic year. Actually, the best year in his entire MLS career.
I have told this to Paul many times in the sports office. It's a little weird with you here, but we look at the Sounders. You have missed the playoffs one time. One time. That is it.
And it still hurts.
But the bar is so high for this club, and what do you guys do? You go out and you add to this team. Just tell us about some of the additions and just kind of the hopes and expectations for this season.
Well, the two additions are Paul Arriola and Jesus Ferreira, a couple of kids from Dallas, and they've already had a connection down in Antigua and here at home. They both combined for a goal and assist, so that was nice to see. They're getting to know their teammates. They're integrating really well. I think they're both super talented, but I'll tell you this much. The surprise of preseason was our new designated player, Pedro de la Vega, because last year was, you know, not good for him. I got to say, it wasn't good for us, but the kids come out really, you know, taking his fitness level to a real good stature in the preseason, and it shows because he's got 7 total goals if you include all the preseason games.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, you know, you were waiting for some breakout last year, but he couldn't stay healthy. How much did you think he learned from some of your veterans about, because the Seahawks talk about it all the time, it's about taking care of your body for months so you can be available.
Well, the standard that we set at our club is a high bar, and our fitness guys just told me, they said, hey, Brian, he's not ready for the rigors of an MLS season. Down in Argentina where they play, it's a little bit slower. Sometimes toca-toca, they like to pass the ball and run around a little bit. But with us, it's a more physical league.
We're here tonight to celebrate all the professional sports teams, the athletes. There's a lot of them. But Brian, let's talk a little bit about the sport of soccer and just how it continues to just dominate this landscape here in the Pacific Northwest. From the Sounders to the Reign to Club World Cup to World Cup coming. I mean, we couldn't be in a better time to be a soccer fan in the city of Seattle right now.
You mentioned them all. I mean, we're super excited to compete in the Club World Cup, although I think we're in the group of death. I mean, if we can get out of there with a point or a win, I'd be pleased. But yeah, so you get the Club World Cup. Perhaps the Women's World Cup coming soon.
Yeah.
The Men's World Cup coming in 2026. Seattle hosting a bunch of really top international teams on the club level, and then of course, you know, the World Cup is the biggest sporting event in the world.
Yeah. You know, you talk about the group of death. I mean, he's got PSG out of the gates. It's like these are real clubs over there that do a lot of damage and score a lot of points, and you know, it's going to be fun just for your fans to watch your caliber go up against theirs.
Well, we've got a young man, Georgie Manungo, speaks French. He's from African, and what I want for him is for him to go out and play free against that team and see if there's not maybe a connection. Maybe there's something there. Maybe they see something in Georgia that we all see because he's super dynamic. You know, Obed Vargas, who's had some transfer rumors, some interest in Mexico, maybe Spain. We're playing Atletico Madrid, and maybe that game, maybe the coach sees something in Obed, and it's a stepping stone in their young career. So a lot of good things could happen. Some bad things could happen in those games, but we're hoping for the best.
I'm going to put the pressure on him, and we'll wrap up and let Brian move on, Paul. But I want to take away the soccer players, the Alan Hittons, the Jungles, the Prekkies, the Pete Fewings. Looking back as somebody that loves sports in this area, one of your favorite athletes growing up watching in this area?
Well, obviously, I was there at the parade when the Sonics won the tournament, the NBA title. You know, I loved everybody. I mean, there was great athletes in every single sport. You know, I love supporting the Kraken. They need to get it with it a little bit. The Mariners, I've always been a big fan. Jay Buhner. I met Edgar. You know, Edgar last year. I presented with him, so that was super fantastic. But tremendous sports city. Seattle's always been a good sports town, in my opinion. I might be biased, but that's what I'm going to tell you.
All right. Well, we're lucky to have you, Brian, for sure. And best of luck the rest of the season. Good luck Saturday against RSL. You should hit the road, and we're looking forward to watching the highlights all season long. So go get them.
Always a pleasure, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
Okay.
Brian Schmetzer from the Sounders, and Paul, we're now bringing in the president of the Seattle Seahawks, Chuck Arnold, who is up for the he is winning the Sports Leader Award tonight. Chuck, come on over here.
Well deserved. Come on up here, Chuck.
You know what's tough for me, Paul, as a Puyallup Viking to praise the Curtis Vikings over here like this. But Chuck, thank you for joining us here.
You guys actually had the real helmet with a Viking horn on it. Ours just said Vikes right across.
But you guys just seem to win in everything you do, though. But
we went back and forth quite a bit. We went back and forth.
All right, let's talk about this. First of all, let's talk about tonight. You've been around this area a long time. What's it like for you to be involved in the 90th Annual Sports Star of the Year Awards?
Well, I'm glad you said I've been around this for a long time. 31 years at the Seahawks. And so tonight's obviously special because I'm being recognized. But when I look at, I've been to this event a number of times and just watched the people that got up there on stage and was just so impressed by the resumes of those people. And then all of a sudden I get to get up there and I'm like, am I supposed to be up here with all these guys that I've been watching do this for years? So it feels great. I love the recognition. But just know that it comes with, it comes from a lot of hard work from people around me. And I think this is kind of just a celebration of the Seahawks tonight more than just me.
Well, and Chuck, you're being honored tonight with the Sports Leader Award, and I think a lot of people see you and they do think of the Seattle Seahawks, but I think of the 2,500 charities that the Seattle Seahawks goes out and supports all these charities. I mean, that's one of the big reasons you're winning this award. Can you just talk a little bit about that and how much the Seahawks give back to this community?
Yeah, it sounds, well, the first thing we do is we believe to be a leader in your community, it starts with giving back to your community. And so those 2,500, and there's things that, they're different levels. There's some that we're closer with. There's some that we have our Spirit of 12 partners that we use our 50-50 raffle on game days for. But we cut across not just the Seattle area, we cut across the entire Pacific Northwest region with these charities, and they're for all different types of causes that fit into things that are important for us. And really it comes down to is people sacrifice lots of things to be associated with the Seahawks, to be fans of the Seahawks. We can only do that much in return to say thank you as much as we can for communities and strengthen them.
Yeah, it's great to see the players out in the communities, and I got to ask you this. You look at what's coming up. We know that John and Mike are at the Combine this week. The draft is just around the corner. How much do you get a chance to listen in on some of the things that those guys and the discussions that they have? I mean, because you're busy in your own way.
Oh, yeah. No, I get quite a bit of chances to listen to what those guys are saying. And let me tell you this, both of those guys are the best at what they do. With Coach McDonald coming in last year and just watching how sharp he is, and the guy's the hardest working coach that I've been around for 31 years, and that guy is hard working. And just John, he's got just this keen sense about him, and he's got just a great gut. He's amazing at what he does. And so I get a good chance to watch those two guys work together for the first time last year, and there's something special brewing between those two for sure.
Coach McDonald, I mean, you've surrounded yourself with some pretty great leaders and some pretty amazing resumes. What impresses you most about him, besides just the hard work aspect?
Just the thoughtfulness in everything that he does. He's extremely intelligent, but he's very thoughtful, and he's a good communicator. And when I say that, he's not just a communicator from a speaking standpoint, but he's a good communicator where he's a good listener. And I love that about him, where he's coming in and he's following a legend in Coach Carroll, and he's not coming in saying, it's got to be my way. He's coming in listening to hear, like, how have we done things? And that's turned into really kind of great conversations and great results so far.
Yeah, one of the things we always hear about from the players is that they love the fact that Mike just shoot straight, and you know exactly where you stand with the new head coach.
Exactly.
Well, Chuck Arnold, we appreciate it. Congratulations on your award tonight, and enjoy yourself at the Sports Star of the Year Awards.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Okay,
thank you.
yeah, it's great to talk to Chuck. Thank you, Chuck.
Chuck Arnold taking home
We'll take that from you.
the Sports Leader Award, so congrats to him. And now we're bringing in the athletic director of the University of Washington, Pat Chun, joins us now. You ready to roll, Pat?
Yeah, I'm always proud to take Chuck Arnold's seat. So, yeah, a legendary Washington State Cougar. How about that? Yeah.
You know what's cool on that note?
Yeah.
It's cool that you can just kind of poke fun at yourself. I mean, seriously, you go from one end of the state to the other, and you know what? You know you're going to have to take some people busting your chops a little bit.
The Huskies love me now, so that's good.
All right, what's it like for you to be here tonight?
This is always a fun night. I've been coming to this for, I guess I've been in the state 7 years now. So, but it's really a testament of how big, broad, and important the sports scene is here in Seattle, bringing global events to our community. And it's a key. What the Sports Commission does here is absolutely critical for the the economics of our region. So a lot of things, and it just shows you how big the ecosystem is here, from every pro sport you can imagine, college sports. I mean, it's pretty fantastic.
Tell us about the transition, Pat, and also let's note that being honored tonight, the UW rowing team. National champions. They had 11 former UW rowers medal at the Paris Olympics, but and Coach Fisch is going to be here tonight representing the football team as well. But just that transition from the Pac-12 to the Big Ten, as you look back from last year to this year, how are things going? How is it been tougher, easier? I guess just your thoughts on the trend.
So I think as I know it, we're one of only 2 schools in the country where all of our fall team sports made postseason. So I think that kind of is indicative. I mean, it's actually our soccer coach planted the seed in my brain that the travel is longer than we're used to. Football is the only sport that we have where, and I know you have a daughter that played tennis. I mean, most sports are used to driving long nights, waking up early, playing, getting out of the car, playing. Football is the only one that doesn't do that. Whether it's soccer, basketball, tennis, golf, you're used to the club scene, you're used to the tournament scene. So it's interesting to see how all of our teams have adapted. Our academics are up. We have the highest grade point average we've ever had. So it's like anything. Typically young people are the most resilient. We have a competitive group of young people, and it's a unique thing, but it's oddly enough, it's where college athletics is at.
Well, we know that the football team in all colleges is the big money maker and supports a lot of the athletic program. I got to ask you this: with the addition of 11 full-time coaching jobs with the football program, that really shows a commitment to Jedd Fisch and his staff, and the commitment the Huskies have to being successful.
Yeah, I think Jedd wants to put the best coaches around to develop this team. College athletics is changing fast. I mean, we live year to year. You kind of have to microwave teams now after you do this roster acquisition piece. So I mean, when you see how all the puzzle pieces come together, I mean, it's really impressive what Jedd did to put this staff together. And now we go to work on this next season. We got a tough schedule. We got we got a bunch of big home games, with 2 in particular. So that'll probably, most of our games are on national TV now. So it'll be a fun year.
To the UW alumni watching, alumni more important than ever. as we look at the state of college sports right now?
Yeah, the whole community. I mean, what we believe in this new ecosystem we're headed. There's a settlement that has preliminary approval that should bring on real name, image, and likeness, fair market value. We believe Seattle, you talk about nights like this, why they're so important. We believe Seattle's going to be a differentiator for us. All schools at our level are going to share revenue, $20.5 million with a segment of our student athletes. That's going to be the floor for Washington. We have to figure out how to get endorsement deals for our student athletes, and we believe we're well positioned because of the community that we're in.
It has become such a business, that's
It
for
is.
sure. Well,
it is.
Pat, listen.
But we're still focused on academics, too.
Yo,
So, yeah.
You've proven that. You've proven that.
Yes,
It's great that you
yeah.
brought that up.
Yes.
Listen, we appreciate you coming on
Yeah.
and enjoy the night tonight for
Yeah.
sure.
Paul, Chris, always great to see you guys.
Okay,
too.
thanks,
Go
Pat.
Dogs.
All right, there it is.
And we're going to move from one Husky
Thanks a
to
lot.
another, Paul, but I just want to remind everybody, for anyone joining us right now, we are live at the Seattle Sports Star Awards on Media Row, catching up with all of your favorite athletes. To watch a replay of our full show, be sure to download the King 5 app on your TV and watch it for free. Download that King 5 app. And Paul, one of the greatest athletes I think we've ever covered is not Blitz. It's Danielle Lawrie,
Oh, wow.
national champion, one of the greatest of all time. Blitz, you stay out of here right now.
He wants a piece of you, pal, and he's going to get it.
Paul, I think you remember the media thought we had a chance to hit a softball off of Danielle Lawrie, and she struck out every media member.
Yeah.
It was a humbling moment for myself.
I was going to say, including you, Chris. Don't you threw yourself out there as a group, but you were at the plate, and I mean, honestly, it feels like we just watched you yesterday. I mean, it must feel like to you that time just flies.
You know, it's funny presenting one of the awards this week and like being up on the stage. I was practicing because I was nervous when they told me there's gonna be 1,000 people there. I'm like, oh my God. So car rides to sports, I'm practicing with Maddie and all the things. And I'm like, Mads, I won this award 18 years ago.
that
that
makes us
doesn't-
feel old, Danielle.
And
man.
me old.
I know. But seriously, I mean, you know, we have a family and everything. We hear about Danielle Lawrie throughout the years after her playing days, and we're just like, she's what?
Yeah.
And she's got this, got that going on. What's it been like for you since you've stopped playing?
I feel super lucky to live where we live. You know, when my husband and I got together and I made that kind of saying to him that I want to like live here, we're like in it. Like we're living the dream with the kids. Like we're fully invested in the UW, and they get to be around stuff that I didn't get to really experience as a Canadian girl. Like it's not nearly, sports are not the same. So that to me has just been the most incredible part. I still feel very lucky to be around the game through like the analyst ends with ESPN, which every year you just get more coverage and more coverage. It's special. And I'm momming hard, and I like it. It's probably my favorite thing to do. I loved playing. I miss those UW days because you think it's hard, and then you have kids and you're like fully in it. You're like, whoa, and then real life hits. So
I do have to ask you, you have lived a very good life,
Yeah.
you know, as a mom and a coach and a wife, an Olympic athlete representing Canada, a national championship with the University of Washington. But when you look at the state of college sports right now, do you sometimes get a little jealous like you're not playing right now? Because I'm telling you what, Danielle, you would have done
Yeah.
pretty good on the name, image, and likeness route on things.
I won't disagree with you on that. But what comes with that is just an extra elevated pressure that is a lot harder to deal with. I do think that the college game and how much the data and analytics plays into it, would be a lot harder to do what we did as far as like pitchers throwing 300 plus innings. You don't see that as much anymore. So it would be harder to be able to be that great now for 300 innings a year. But yeah, I probably could have signed for $1 million, like Nigel Kennedy, who transferred from Stanford to Texas Tech and signed over $1 million for college softball and kind of set the bar high. So, but my experience was my experience, and I would not trade that for anything. To be a part of that national championship run in the first and the community, like that speaks for itself.
Yeah.
So.
Great perspective
Well said,
there from
yeah.
Danielle Lawrie,
Yeah.
for sure. Well, listen, we appreciate you coming on tonight. I know you have a lot to get to. We're only the first stop on Radio Row here, Media Row. So go get them and enjoy the
Thank
rest
you.
of the evening.
Thank you, guys. You look great.
Thank you, Danielle.
All right, Danielle Lawrie, one of the greats. And Paul, we're now bringing out maybe one of the greatest, one of the greatest quarterbacks in Franklin, Thomas Jefferson. I was about to say Franklin Pierce.
How dare you?
We beat Franklin Pierce.
Yeah, that's what I was getting back to, that big game you had against Franklin Pierce, the former quarterback.
Curtis was my best game.
Oh, Chuck Arnold was just
Curtis,
here. Yeah.
yeah.
So, Kenny Mayne, are you ready to go tonight?
I hope. I got to figure it out between now and then. My wife keeps telling me Like, just don't go up there and list like 70 names. Don't make them bored. By the time I get up there, they want to leave anyway, right?
Do you gauge yourself though when you read the crowd a little bit when you do
Keep
things
going.
like this? Yeah,
If
seriously.
I mean, it's it's a narcotic, and you want more attention at that point. You just keep going. No, hopefully it'll be sincere as I can be. But I truly am on it. Like, I thought it was like a raffle or something, because I've been involved in the show since. Remember, it was at the Paramount.
Yep.
Then it was at Benaroya. Then it was the Westin. And now this beautiful place here. So I've done different things for the show. And when Beth Knox, the boss, called, she told me this instead. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
if that's what you say.
Yeah, I mean, I think on the list there it says it's Kent's favorite son. Is that what it is? Did you put that on there
No.
yourself?
She asked, what, do you need a title? I said, just do my name. Like, because former ESPN is weird. It's been 3.5 years. How about just my name? I think they came up, because I grew up on Star Lake, went to Star Lake Elementary, Totem, and Jefferson.
Yeah.
Then Wenatchee, then UNLV, came back here, left here, came back here.
I think that's what people love about you, Kenny, is that you have left here, but you really never have left here.
Agreed.
The Pacific Northwest is part of your blood. And
Neil Everett and I would always drop little Seattle references, save our Sonics, whatever. But it was fun because it's such an East Coast driven media mostly, right? And so we were like insurrectionists, like saying what we had to say about our little town.
Well, you know what's great? Because, I go way back watching Kenny, and it's not to say you're old, it's just that I got a late start.
Yeah.
But, but I will say, watching you on SportsCenter back in the day, it's a different deal now with sportscasters across the country. It's a different deal. You've seen it, the broadcast industry, but watching you and watching this guy always slipping in, always having these jokes, there was always something, we didn't know what to expect from you. And I just want to say, I finally get a chance to sit down and say something. It was really a pleasure watching you over the years
appreciate
and
that.
the style you had.
It was fun while it lasted. I was telling the story earlier. I might, if I remember to say it tonight, the first day, because I was at Channel 11, KSTW, got interviewed, didn't get hired, quit that job, too long a story to even. So now
they gave it to Ron Simons? Was that what?
No, Rod was great to work with on the weekends.
Okay.
Then he started doing sports as well. We did a couple of kind of poor man's sports centers. It was like 20-minute show, whatever. Long story short, and God rest Rod Simons, by the way.
Yes, yeah.
I just decided to try something different, which became assembling garbage cans. That was my next job down in Kent. Then I sold prepaid legal insurance. Then I sold long distance for MCI.
Wow.
All the while
There's a drop.
all the while trying to get to ESPN.
Man.
And some people thought that was far-fetched. I took the Magellan route, right?
Wow.
But it all worked out. Like,
Yeah.
I'm glad for the struggle to get there was as good as getting there.
Yeah, well, listen, I'm disappointed that we're getting the rat because I know everybody's
Yeah,
waiting
who's in
for
charge
it.
of
This guy.
What are they going to?
I don't know, but I got it. Before
No,
we
we're
wrap
going,
it up.
Oh, Fred Couples.
We got Fred
out.
Couples
Read the
coming
truth
up,
card,
Kenny
Kenny.
Mayne.
Where is Fred Couples?
He's won more titles than you have.
Yeah,
Kenny.
true enough. I got to play golf with him once,
Did
and I
you
got
do?
a birdie, which became a hole-in-one because of my handicap. And Fred's like, "Is he that good?" And my caddy's like, "No, he's not." And I melted down after that.
Listen, I wish we had all night to talk to you, Kenny. Great
All
to
right,
see
but
you.
you'd
man.
rather talk to Fred Couples. I
Thank you,
get it.
Kenny.
I would
Hey, have
dump
fun
His
you.
time is limited for sure.
I'm out, Fred's.
Thanks, Kenny. Man, I'll tell you what. I remember when you did a wiffle ball tournament with Kenny Mayne.
Kenny Mayne,
and-
yes.
And we can talk about that when we have some dead time, but
Well-
that was a fun moment for sure. And I will say this. We were talking about, and I told you, ask Kenny if I can use his restaurant quality line, and he said, and he gave you permission.
He gave us permission to
Yeah.
use restaurant quality.
Yeah.
Speaking of restaurant quality, Fred Couples
Fred
is
Couples, great to see you.
Fred, good to see you. Chris
All right,
Egan,
there
yes.
you go. We'll,
I get to follow Kenny.
put
I
you to
love
work.
it. I love it.
No, he didn't want to leave, but then when he knew you were up next,
No, he can stay
left.
here. He can stay
He
here.
turned around and saw who was next. Up for the Royal Brome Legend Award tonight.
Yes.
You're receiving that, Fred. And you have such a history here in Seattle and all the way back to your O'Day days. What's it like for you to be here tonight?
Well, it's pretty special. I use this word a lot. I'm not going to lie to you. My buddy John Bracken behind me has wanted me to come achieve golf, whatever, and come here and accept this award. And finally, I got Jim Nance to come with me. So we're going to do a little dog and pony show. But I love Seattle. I do not live here, although I have a place out in Whidbey Island now. But every day, everywhere I go, I tell people, when I wake up, I check what's going on with the Kraken, what's going on with UW, what's going on with the Seahawks. It's just my home, but it was very hard to live here and travel, and I just never came back. But I did finally buy a spot about 3 years ago.
Yeah,
Well,
good.
we just said that to Kenny Mayne. I mean, it was one of those things. You know, he's left the PNW, but he really hasn't. It's still
Yeah.
always part of him, and that's part of you as well. Every time you come and you play in tournaments here, you're always representing this area. I know Paul and I were always putting your highlights on there because we're always saying Seattle zone,
Yeah, from
O'Day
O'Day
grab,
Star, yeah.
Freddie
You-
Campbell.
No, I
Exactly.
know. I think it was 4 years ago when I had a big lead, and I'm very blessed to have a tournament in Seattle on the Champions Tour. I know it's been around for a long time. It is my favorite event. I love TPC Snoqualmie. I really, really love it. I play it well, so it's fun for me to come up here, and I still want to win it, but it's going to take a lot to beat some of these 50-year-olds. but you know, people don't really understand Seattle. I really don't think they do. When we put things on, I just think there's nothing like it, you know, and hopefully we get the Sonics. I'm throwing that out there back, and now we'll be completely full. I had Seahawk tickets a while. I'd fly up and watch. So I am a huge Seattle guy. It's really a couple more hours. I know Rick Farah did it a little bit, maybe Kyle Stanley. I'm naming guys. But for me, it was just hard to get there. And then my sponsor back in 1980 was Mike Foster, who's passed away, but Foster and Marshall, and he had a place in Palm Springs. And I went down there to work with him and say hi. And I said, is the weather always like this? And I've had a spot in Palm Springs for 45 years.
Well, listen, there's people out there that love when you come up here and they know you're going to be involved in a tournament and you're going to compete. They lose their minds that Fred Couples, and you're the key person they want to see out there. And I think you must feel that. You must feel like, wow, you know, I feel a lot of love from the.
Well, I get a lot of
Northwest.
love, and I make a lot of mistakes too. I mean, everyone does. But there's a first tee here. I won't talk too long, but first tee program is something that I feel very good about. And people work really hard for that. But for me, golf-wise, look, it's a no-brainer to get on a plane, come up here and play. I'm very excited about this house, to come up in the summertime. I really, really am. I'm married into a beautiful lady over here who's got a 17-year-old. So when he gets to college, we're up here a lot.
You're hanging out in the BMW.
Exactly. But I want to appreciate you guys coming tonight. But this is a huge deal.
Yeah, well, congratulations on the Legend Award, Fred. Long overdue and an easy choice for sure.
Yeah, okay.
All right,
Thanks, you guys.
thanks a lot.
Okay.
Oh, man, it's great to
Fred
see Fred
Couples, Royal Brome Sports Legend Award, and he definitely is a legend. And
Jesus, bunch of Huskies on this show
yeah,
tonight, huh?
yeah, we're going.
Pat Chun,
We
Fred,
got a lot. This is our
Jedd
third Husky
Fisch.
we're bringing in already.
Hey, Jedd, good to see you.
Coach, how are you? Good to see you.
How are you?
Oh, man.
You ready to go? These nights are kind of fun, aren't they? Getting away from the X's and O's and
Yeah.
hanging out and seeing everybody.
This is great. It was what a privilege to sit with Fred Couples and Jim Nance and talk to them for a little bit. That was awesome. So it's been fantastic to be here.
Well, I know you've got a lot to get to tonight as well, but we want to talk to you about the program and the fact that you did add an additional 11 full-time jobs in that program, showing some commitment, not only from this football program, but from the school. Tell us about how difficult it's been and all the transition here in the last couple of months.
Well, the first year felt like just a whirlwind, right? We got there and there was really no time to even catch up and catch your breath and try to build a roster. And now we feel like we're finally at a spot where we want to be in terms of roster management, roster building, who our team is. And then it was a matter of coming up with who the coaching staff is going to be, what changes we're going to make. A couple coaches moved on. And we also wanted to compete with the best programs in the country. And to do that, we needed to add some bodies. We needed to add some minds. We needed to add some hands on deck. And went to Pat and kind of talked to him about that. And we were able to really build out our program the way we wanted.
Yeah.
With that in mind, what a difference a year makes, Coach. I mean, last year, spring practice, you didn't have a ton of numbers. Sometimes you had 5 offensive linemen out there. This year, you guys are loaded up. You got the coaching staff. There's got to be excitement with you and the rest of the coaching staff where you're at right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in such a different place mentally in terms of, last year we were trying to figure out who our team was going to be, and we had 8 offensive linemen that were on scholarship last spring, and 3 of them were hurt all spring. So we had 5 scholarship linemen participating if everything was perfect. Now we have 15. And you can kind of go like that throughout the whole program. We'll have 95 players participate in spring ball, 20 coaches out there coaching. We're right now in the middle of off-season training, and guys are looking good.
Yeah, I love the fact that you're like, we want that spring game on national TV,
Sold
international TV, put it everywhere. Yeah, it's sold out, everybody. The NIL and all the transfer portal doesn't bother you because it's really just part of where college football and college sports are right now, huh?
Yeah, I don't know why you fight it or complain about it. I think it's where we are. It's an opportunity to, use your brain and figure out ways to, how do you invest in the players the right way? How do you put together a roster using, the best way financially you possibly can? This is a great opportunity right now over these next few months to, really continue to invest in Mountain Lake Futures and see how well we can do with our collective while we're trying to build our dollars out for our program. And it's still expensive to run football program. And we certainly, continue to invest in it and continue to need the support of others.
Your quarterback gets some good time against the Oregon Ducks down there in Eugene, not an easy place to play, gets the start in the bowl game. Obviously, it's a total team sport. We talk about O-line and receivers, but just where is he at, now that he's had that experience going into this year?
Yeah, he's in a great place. He's in a great spot mentally. He's leading. He's coming out of his shell now that he's the guy. That last game, it wore on him a little bit. He had tears at the end because, he had 5 touchdowns in that game, and we wound up, not making that last play. But, he threw for 4, ran for 1, did just such an amazing job competing that all he wanted to do is get back on the field. So now we're feeling that energy from him every day. I'm really excited to see what he's going to do for us.
Now, Paul, I do have to share this story with Coach. I used to be Denzel Boston's baseball coach. And he wanted to miss a baseball practice for football. And I said, Denzel, you're not a football player. You're a baseball player. Thank God he did not listen to me because this could be one of the best receivers in the country this year, right?
Yeah. Thank God he didn't listen to you. That's exactly right. Well said. No, he is, he had 9 touchdowns last year. He really wasn't 100% healthy there at the end of the season. And he was, we were dealing with some issues, trying to get him ready for games. But we really needed to make sure we got him back to 100% health. I think for spring, he'll be coming off and just working his way back. But training camp, he's going to be at an elite level. I'm expecting him, and I've told him this, to have the type of year that T-Mac had in our second year with him, where he had 1,400 yards and 14 touchdowns and 90 catches. And, the standard and the expectation is that kind of production. And I think he has all the skills to do it.
Candidly, I want to wrap this up because Bill Belichick gets his job, Pete Carroll gets his job. Now, Coach, you're sitting back. You must have had just some kind of inkling that you were going to be looking for 2 new coordinators.
Yeah, I mean, when Coach Belichick got his job, I had a really good idea and feel that Steve was going to have a chance wanted to go back with his dad for that final run. And, that was fantastic for Steve, and he gave us a great year, did a fantastic job throughout the whole season and with our defense. And then when Coach Carroll got back into it, maybe, I don't know, a couple weeks later, 3 weeks after that, it was great. And Brennan, I said to Brennan, this is going to be your dad's last head coaching job, we think. Why not go be with him, And Brennan and I had great conversations about it, and I was with Brennan for 6 years, right? So this wasn't like a one and done type deal, and it was a great opportunity for Brennan to go back with his dad. I'm fired up for him.
Well, let me tell you something. You've done a fantastic job over there, bobbing and weaving and replacing coaches and stepping up the recruiting. And again, a lot of Husky fans are looking forward to the success coming in the several months ahead. So best of luck in the spring and getting all your players in order. And man, we're really looking forward to that schedule next year. I mean, it's some exciting football for sure.
Let's sell out that spring game, Paul.
Yeah,
let's do that.
Spring game. Let's start there, right?
All right, thanks, Jedd. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, Jedd Fisch joining us here, and boy, just so many more to come. Again, we are at the start of Media Row. Chris, give us the pitch.
90th Annual Seattle Sports Star Awards. We're on Media Row. To watch a replay of our full show, be sure to download the King 5 app on your TV and watch it for free. I mean, the names just keep rolling. And Paul, for me, it doesn't get much better than Jack Sikma. I'm going to be honest here. And here's the deal, Paul. Jack, let's get you the mic.
Okay.
When I was in 4th grade, Gelisai at Northwood Elementary, Paul, we had a life-size Jack Sikma poster in Gelisai's class. We'd always measure ourselves up to how we stood to Jack Sikma.
Yeah.
It stood the whole year, Jack. We love that poster.
So where did you come up to?
I got to 6'1", but I'm shrinking now, Jack. I seem like I'm down to 5'11".
Yeah, that was really popular. There's a couple great stories about that. I don't know if we have time to talk about it. But anyway, that was a great promotion, and got a big kick out of it.
Yeah, it's great to have Sonics great Jack Sikma with us. And Jack, I mean, I know that people ask you this all the time, but let's talk about this. Let's talk about the Sonics. Let's talk about the state of the NBA. But do you expect this Sonics expansion team to get to town in the next few years, or do you think this could go out as far as 2030?
I'm hearing different things again, and it's really been a roller coaster as far as trying to predict what's going to happen. The latest is I think the league is waiting to find out what the Celtics sell for, so they can kind of figure out what the expansion cost would be for what sounds like 2 teams for sure. But, I just read about this Europe thing where they're looking into Europe to start a league. So I have no idea. And, all that we can do is just hope.
And with that in mind, Jack, just, I joked about having the poster you, but I'm a kid that grew up with the Seattle Sonics and had the privilege and pleasure to watch them. You had a son that played high school basketball in the area, and like your son and my sons, they didn't have the pleasure of watching an NBA team. How important is it to get, in nights like this, we're going to see Sonic legends like you, to get this team back as soon as we can so these kids can have somebody to root for?
Well, first of all, the city never deserved to lose them.
Yeah.
And they definitely deserve to have an NBA team back. The league has changed so much, but I mean, we're looking at a generation now that has missed out on having an NBA team to root for here in Seattle. So it just makes a lot of sense. But again, it's still up to the owners of the league and whether they want to, pull the trigger. And I firmly believe that if they do, Seattle will get a franchise. But who knows?
Do you remember back in the day playing with the passion that these sports fans have here for Sonics basketball and really for all sports now? But back in the day, was there something that stood out to you from the passion of this fan base in Seattle?
Well, a couple things. One, when I was a rookie, Lenny took over and we had one of the greatest turnarounds ever. And that 77-78 season, though it turned out to be a huge disappointment losing Game 7, at our place, it was just unbelievable in the Coliseum. It was so loud, and just everybody just jumped on the bandwagon. So that 2 or 3 year period was a great run. Fortunate that we got another chance at it in 79, and we took care of business that time. But one of the things that tell you a lot about the fans is we had that run in 78, and we lost the 7th game. And I remember how quiet the Coliseum was at that moment because, this unbelievable magic carpet ride came to an end and we came short. And then all of a sudden, the clapping started as we walked off the court. And we ended up having a parade, and the fans were, had a heck of a season and enjoyed it. And if anything, it really spurred us on to make sure we took care of business the next year.
Yeah.
Paul and I have pretty good memories, but I'm losing track. How many years did you get with Gus through the years? How many years were you two together?
Well, he got traded just at the beginning of my rookie season. So we played together through, I think, 84, which would have been 7 years, 7 years. Yeah. And I'm glad you brought Gus up. We lost a favorite, not only just a favorite of the fans, and again, everybody respects what he brought to the team, but he was a favored teammate of all of us, and just a sweetest guy, and we miss him. Let's put it that way.
He'd love nights like this tonight too in Seattle. These nights, yeah.
Well said. I want to ask you this: the NBA gets a lot of criticism for 3 balls and how boring the game has become because everybody just wants to launch threes. And a big guy like you, I used to dump it down low to you and just turn and hit. What is your impression of the NBA game right now and how it has evolved, and do you like it?
There's some things that, they're bigger, faster, stronger. And the skill level and the number of skills that are demanded to be a good NBA player has increased greatly. You can't just be a power player. You got to be able to. The fitness level is so much higher, the pace of the game, all those things. I was never a dribble guy on the ball, creating off the dribble, which is really the stars are able to do that and get their own shot. We were more, especially in Lenny's offense, where we had movement and worked off each other and read the court, and passing was probably more of a priority. And that's where I excelled in, that type of system. Unfortunately, not a lot of teams are doing that. I think probably the Nuggets are the team still with Jokic at the elbow that works plays and you got reads and that type of thing. But a lot of it is one-on-one. Yeah.
Do you watch a lot of NBA?
I watch a little of it.
Like I was just wondering if it's
more.
still passionate.
Actually, over the past few years, I watch more European basketball because my son Luke played in Europe for 13 years. So I would watch his games. So I was familiar with that style of play, which I liked. Again, it's hard when you don't have your hometown team here.
I think a lot of fans say that, Jack, and they don't want to watch the NBA. And I'm like, there's still some great athletes out there. Say what you want. LeBron James is a marvel. The passing Kareem for the all-time scoring mark, but the fact that he's over 40 and playing the way he's playing you have to respect that as a former player.
Absolutely, and again, what's demanded of him is much greater than when I was playing. I mean, from a media standpoint, from a fitness standpoint, their support levels are greater than ever. I mean, when we went on the road, we had 12 guys, 2 coaches, and a trainer, and that was our traveling party. Now they fill a plane, so it's a little different.
Yeah, no, I get that for sure. And it is interesting to hear about the days when you played and the way it is now. LeBron spends millions just on his fitness, but it's a commitment, and the ones who love the game definitely want to commit to it and play as long as they possibly can. You gave Seattle sports fans a tremendous amount of years, Jack. We appreciate you coming on, and enjoy the rest of the evening.
Will do, and thank you.
Okay,
thank
Jack
you, Jack.
Sikma
Well
with
done.
us. Awesome to talk to you. All right, okay.
Legends to legends, Fred Couples, to Jack Sikma. I tell you what, Paul, this is a big night.
Yeah, and
90th annual, and just like that, it gets a little bigger, Paul.
Yeah, I know.
Jessica Campbell joining us now from your Seattle Kraken. Here's the deal, Paul. She's up for Sports Story of the Year. That's how big this is.
Yes, as a first female NHL assistant coach. First of all, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to watch you just dig in at practice and dig in during games, and you're so dialed in. What's it been like for you throughout this first full season with the Kraken?
I mean, it's been a remarkable journey. Obviously, coming up here with Dan Balsma from the AHL affiliate and being part of the Kraken organization for now 3 years, I've seen what we're made of. I've seen the vision of where we're going, and obviously I think we're still very much on that journey of building to where we want to get to. But for me, the reception of the community, the players, the whole organization, the wraparound support for me, it's been such a tremendous honor, and I know we've got a lot of work ahead of us, but it's an exciting opportunity, and I love it.
And I want to just go right there with the reception of the community, because sometimes I don't think you probably get the time to actually appreciate it, because you are working. It is Kraken games, practice. You have no time. And a night like this, you get to sit back a little bit and like, wow, this is pretty cool what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
And just your thoughts on tonight in being here.
I mean, you said it, right? Like when you're in the trenches and the schedule and the demands of our travel, you don't always get to take in everything that the city has to offer. And I'm a big sports fan. I grew up playing baseball. I love it. But to be part of all of this and just to see how special of a city this is through sport and the community coming together through sport, like that's what makes sport special. Your fan base, the people that show up to make it something special. And everywhere I've been this year, to be honest, every arena, there's nothing like Climate Pledge and the fan base and the production of what our city brings. So it's a huge night to just get to feel finally the energy and kind of just, put my hair down, take my skates off, and have some fun.
Yeah, take us back to Winnipeg. You guys, you go in there. You have family. I think it was roughly 4 hours away for the drive.
Yeah.
What was that like to have this massive community come in and just to watch you coach? Can you give us some memories of that night?
Oh gosh, I get emotional. Those were my nephew's first NHL game, and from small town Saskatchewan, a town of 1,000 people, this is the big dream. This is the stage, that we grew up repping NHL colors and didn't know how special really it was. And when you get to witness it in real life, it's something so different. And so to get to see my family get to embark on this journey with me, and I think there was honestly not my family, but a Greyhound bus that came down from town that they booked and they filled and they packed it. It's such a Canadian story, but through snowstorms to get there, to see the number of Kraken jerseys in a Jets arena, I think it's the power of how many people are a part of every athlete and coach's journey from the start and from communities. And I'm so proud to have my Canadian roots and to know that every one of those people, I think 60 plus, family included, were there because they've been a part of this in their own way. And I'm proud to be where I'm from.
You have fun watching that Four Nations Cup, by the way, too?
Unbelievable. I love that where we're going as a result of that event is just so good for the sport.
Yeah.
The camaraderie, but the competitiveness, here we go. We're going into it. It's going to trickle into the NHL as well.
Is it a dream for you to coach Canada in the Olympics?
I would love to, yeah. I obviously a proud Hockey Canada alumni as a player. I've been on the men's side now for 5-6 years, and so getting the opportunity to coach Hockey Canada, any international stage, is going to always be an honor.
Well, it's a great one to end on. Jessica Campbell joining us here, and I know you have a big night ahead, so go out and enjoy it. There's people waiting for you. We appreciate you making the time, and congratulations on your early success so far in the NHL.
Thank you so
And
much.
good luck tonight. Good luck tonight.
All right, Jessica Campbell, up for Sports Story, part of what's
Story
been
of the
going
year,
on
yeah.
this year, and one of the great stories out there. And Chris, I want you to let people know where we are. We are on King 5 Plus. This has been going on since 6 o'clock, hour long, and you can catch us again. Download the app on your television, watch for free. You can watch this guy
And Paul,
all season long as we're just getting started. Go.
I say you're one of the hardest working men, but come on. I mean,
Yeah,
this guy.
this is very cool.
Guy was waking up, probably taking some hacks in the cages. He flies all the way here. The platinum glove is here. The gold glove is here. Cal Raleigh's here. It's a big night. He's up for Male Athlete of the Year. Cal, great to have you here tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I mean, the fact that, as Chris brought it up, the fact that you broke from spring training to come up here just for this event, then you're going to go back down there. This must mean a lot to you.
Yeah, I mean, it means a lot to me. It means a lot to the city and the people here, and they've treated me really well. So, try to do as much as I can to show the love back. So,
I had the privilege of being down there for a week at spring training, and the vibe is good. Take me through what you're seeing since I've left, and it just feels like Dan Wilson regime. Everything's going well right now.
yeah, it's great. Spring training's going well. No injuries so far. Everybody's feeling good. Getting the IBs in. Getting the work in every day. So it's going good. It's still early, so guys still kind of getting into the shape of things and everything. So it's going good, and we like what we see so far. And Dan being at the helm, we're all really excited. So
You must have Dan commands a certain amount of respect, especially being a former all-star catcher. This guy, it's kind of like right in your wheelhouse, isn't it, to have a man like that as a manager?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, I got to come up with Dan, and he worked with all the minor leaguers, as you guys know, and he's been around for a long time, and just the wisdom that he has, and the kind of man he is, and the character he has is great. It's somebody you look for as somebody to lead your team, especially through a long season like we have. So we're really looking forward to it, and really looking forward to a full spring and full season of Dan Wilson.
34 home runs, 100 RBI, leading the Mariners last year, Cal. But the platinum glove, obviously you have the gold glove. What does the platinum glove mean to you? Mean to you, the people around you that helped get you there? I mean, that's a monumental award.
Right. Yeah. Really, I mean, it wouldn't be possible without the people you surround yourself with every day. And I look at like teammates, coaches, family, my dad, somebody who's really impacted me. So just putting in the work, and to see it pay off like that was really special. And it was an amazing night getting to win that award. And I didn't see that one coming. Obviously the gold got announced, but the platinum was something I didn't see coming and was really special, and something I won't forget. So.
Yeah, well, you're definitely a fan favorite. They got the nickname the Big Dumper. But I got to ask you this. First time I saw you at spring training this year, I'm like, oh, man, that man has put on some fitness program, because you're looking good, man. You must have dropped a few pounds. Like, how much was fitness part of your off season? Because you look great.
Yeah, it's a huge part of the off season. You take some time away from the game and from working out, and you kind of reset mentally and physically, and then from there you start training for the full 162. So lots of weights, lots of conditioning, lots of running, all that good stuff to kind of get ready for what's going on now with starting to integrate games. And kind of get into that game shape now.
Yeah, less fried chicken, or
yeah, a little bit.
Was that a goal of yours to kind of slim down a little bit in the off season?
Yeah, I mean, you always want to come into camp as good a shape as you possibly can be. So, you definitely have your early off season where you're getting the good food in, but then after that, you start cutting out some things and eating a little better. So,
yeah. Well, it takes discipline, and it shows, man. You're looking great right out of the gate.
I don't think people, Cal, understand the pitching superiority. I mean, the 5 pitchers, I could throw Emerson Hancock, 6 pitchers, those starters, how good they are. I don't think Mariner fans, a lot of them, understand the quality of pitching right here. Can you even put into words what you get to work with on a daily basis with those 6 pitchers? And I mean, the bullpen's just as good too,
right,
but
yeah.
I'm talking about the starters right here.
No, yeah, specifically those guys, they're great to work with. I feel like we're really spoiled, 1 through 5, to work with those guys on a daily basis and to see how they've kind of, come along into their own and almost feed off each other. Each one, they almost challenge each other and compete against each other as much as they do the other team. So constantly learning and growing and just really fun, that I've kind of got to be a part of that and kind of see how they've kind of evolved and how they keep evolving, because, I feel like they still have more in the tank and they can even get even better if that's possible. So,
well, listen, you've shown the commitment to this baseball team and the program, the organization, and also shown the commitment to Seattle to come here tonight, break training for a day or two, get back down there, make your appearance, and we appreciate you coming out here. I know a lot of fans here appreciate. Chris, I don't know if more people have been watching this little segment than are right now because Cal Raleigh's up here. I'm not kidding. A lot of eyes on us right now.
He's up for the Men's Sport Athlete of the Year. Also, Leonard Williams, the Big Cat, Joe Wascom, Albert Rusnak, John Mateer, and Josh Kerr. But Cal Raleigh coming off a sensational year, and hopefully we got some good things coming up here in 2025 for the Mariners as well. So.
Yeah, for sure. Well, listen, thanks a lot for coming on, Cal. We appreciate it.
Thank
Great
you guys.
seeing you.
I appreciate it.
Man, great to have Cal Raleigh.
That says a lot. I mean, making
absolutely.
the trip from Peoria all the way to Seattle for this big night says a lot.
24 hours, right? And then you're back down there because he's got work to do down there. Again, there's so much to look forward to. I think I wanted to ask him, but sometimes just like you kind of know the answer before you ask it. Are you blocking out the noise in the offseason because there's so much criticism of what was not done by the Mariners, and you get the feeling that these players don't want, they do block it out. They know what they have in that clubhouse, and that's all they worry about.
Yeah, and I heard that from a lot of the players, Paul. They're like, this is who we're taking to battle every day. We can't think about who's not here, who we don't have. This is who we have. I think we've seen already in spring training, the bats are really coming together. By the way, I do want to mention, Paul, the Women's Sports Athlete of the Year, Nneka Agumike, Hannah Mall, Sarah Lessig, Jordan Childs, and Katie Holloway Bridge are the athletes up for the Women's Sports Award.
All right. Complete list there, some big names, and now we have another big name next to us, Kraken goalie Joey Daccord. And Joey, first of all, it's been fun watching you, and I know you're here and you're enjoying this moment tonight. It's going to be a big night for you, but I got to ask you about this team. You get back from the road trip, you've got a grind coming up where you have to dig deep to make the playoffs. So what's the mood of the team?
I think we're just a little energized, right? It was a long break, and then some tough travel and a couple tough games against some good teams. And now we have about 20 games left, and it's just an all-out sprint. And, we got to find our best here for the last 20 games and just give it everything we got and leave it all out there.
I was going to say 20 games to go. I mean, you do the math, it's there for you, right? I mean, it's just getting in a little rhythm. But how tough is that? Because it's still one game at a time.
100%. It's the parity in the league right now is the best I've ever seen. Any given night, anyone can beat anyone. The skill level is so high. And I think it's just going to take a lot of commitment and dedication from the group to commit to. We know the blueprint, right, for how we can succeed, and we just got to commit to it.
How much have you learned this season? I mean, the amount of time you've been out there on the ice, how much have you grown as a goalie?
Well, honestly, just to get the trust in the staff and the organization to give me the opportunity to play as much as I have, I'm just incredibly grateful. And I love being out there. I love playing in the city of Seattle, and the way I'm supported and the way the team's supported is incredible. And I think for myself personally, it's just trying to take it one game at a time, one shot at a time, and just keep progressing, keep moving forward, keep getting better. And my job really is to just try to give the team the best possible chance to win. And that's kind of my mindset every night, is just go out there and just compete as hard as I can and try to give the team a chance to win, honestly. And that's all I've been doing.
You guys play the Canucks on Saturday night. That's your first home game in over 3 weeks. I would imagine when you first take the ice, even though it's still regular season, you got to almost control your emotions a little bit when you get out there at your first home game after 3 weeks. I mean, these fans are going to be rabid to see you guys.
Every time we come back from a trip, it's unbelievable. Like every single time. And you look at a long break like this, 3 weeks. We already saw it at practice today. There was a great crowd at practice, and we'll be firing and ready to go on Saturday, that's for sure.
I got to ask, you mentioned the break. During the break, did you watch a lot of the Four Nations Cup, and how exciting is that for the game of hockey?
It was insane. I mean, I was watching the USA-Canada, the first game, with all the fights at the beginning, and I was screaming at the TV. No, seriously, like I haven't looked at a TV like that and like gone nuts.
Have you ever seen anything like that?
No, I couldn't believe it. It was unbelievable. And I thought it couldn't have been any better for the game of hockey. The way it promoted the game, the eyeballs on it. I think you can even see the viewers. That was like one of the most watched NHL run hockey games in the 2000s. Like it just goes to show how incredible it was for the game.
And I got to imagine for somebody like you or the rest of the team, you see something like that, if that doesn't fire you up to go want to play, I don't know what.
I haven't been that fired up watching a hockey game in I don't know how long. I felt like I was a kid again watching the game. Seriously. Like I remember watching in 2010 the Olympics, the gold medal game, USA-Canada, and just being like on the edge of my seat the whole overtime, the whole game. And just that, I had similar emotions to when I was 14 years old. It was nuts.
Just to take us back to when you were 14 and even younger, did you have a favorite player and a favorite team?
Well, I grew up in Boston, and my dad worked for the team, for the Bruins for a couple of years. So that was definitely my team as a kid, and I was a big fan of them and some of their goalies, Andrew Raycroft, Byron Defoe. Those are some guys that have, I grew up watching for sure.
Yeah, that's some big names back there for sure. Listen, I know you got a lot to get to tonight, and it means a lot to these folks to have you here tonight in the middle of your season. So have fun tonight. Best of luck against the Canucks, and just get after it down the stretch, man.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me, guys.
Fun putting the suit on tonight, though.
100%. I'm having a great time.
All right.
All right, Joey. Thanks a lot.
Daccord, one of the best. Thank you, Joey. All right.
It's always great to see the players out of their uniform. So it's great. So.
Katie Holloway Bridge is going to join us, Paul, and she is up for Sports Star Woman of the Year. And here she's got the gold medals ready to go. Katie, great to have you here. Just tell us about how exciting it is to be here tonight.
Oh my gosh, my head is on a swivel. I'm like the biggest sports fan as well, so to be here and be a nominee, I feel very honored.
Can you even put the last year into words in kind of your whole life in winning these medals and all that?
No, Paris was such a whirlwind. For the first time competing as a mom, and then earning our third gold medal as a team in a row. I look back and I think, how did that happen, and what even happened?
Yeah. How much attention do you get with? Because I imagine it's like a Super Bowl ring. You're not rocking around town with your gold medals, but I mean, what kind of a reaction did you get when you got home?
Definitely heads turn, and I'm one that likes to wear it for 24 hours. We have like a 24-hour rule. You have to wear it for 24 hours if you win gold. And so people just kind of like watch and turn. I went to a restaurant in Paris the night after we won, and the waiter showed the entire restaurant, and it just erupted. So it feels so good, and it's so much fun to wear.
We are surrounded by stars and legends here, and it seems like every athlete, every coach has their own story of perseverance and motivation. What do you want to say to everybody watching, on your story in making it where you've been?
Yeah, so I am born and raised Lake Stevens, Washington. Love the Seattle sports community. I was the first female amputee to play Division I basketball in history, and I have the spirit of beast mode in me. I am through and through women's sports and empowerment. I love, my heroes are Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe, and for me, it's just an honor to be here, and I feel super lucky. This is the most amazing night in sports in Seattle, so to be included just means the world to me.
Not only be included, you are up for one of the big awards tonight, Katie.
Yes.
So good luck tonight. Up against Nneka Ogwumike, Hannah Mall from UW, Sarah Lessig, Jordan Childs, and Katie, all up for the
those are some big names I'm a part of. I don't know if I belong there, but super
I think you
honored.
belong right there.
Just keep wearing those things. Everybody knows you belong. Katie Bridge Holloway, thank you very much for coming on. Congratulations on all your success.
And good luck
thank
tonight.
You so much.
All right.
Comes to it. GP, are you with me? Gary Payton is in the house, Paul.
You know it's special when you sign off and you're done with the show, but you turn everything back on because Gary Payton walks in the room. All right, GP, well, what's it like for you? Because it feels like you're not only here every year, but you're around Seattle an awful lot.
Well, you know, this is second home to me. I was born in Oakland, California, but this is a home for me. I had 13 great years here. Career started here. Reason I'm a Hall of Famer, reason I'm a top 75 is because of this city right here. My kids and everything were born here, so this is like home number 2. And, you know, I keep coming here, and these fans keep showing me so much love. So I can't forget about Seattle. Seattle is my home.
Well, Seattle loves you, GP. And another athlete Seattle loves, Marshawn Lynch, Beast Mode. You'll be presenting an award to him tonight. Just kind of your thoughts on that, Marshawn Lynch.
Well, he deserves everything he did, you know, being for the Seahawks and the way he ran and got the Super Bowl win and things. Should have got a couple more, you know, but, you know, things happen. You know, he's a hometown guy like Oakland, California. We're both from the same place. He's younger than me. He's like a little brother. You know, I see him all the time, and, you know, he deserves it. When he wanted me to introduce him and have him be, you know, to get the award, it's no doubt for me to come in and do that for him, and because, you know, he's just like a brother to me.
How much fun is it to watch your son in the NBA?
You know, it's good to be a dad, you know, not being an athlete and thinking the way that I think because I think he should play my way. I got out of that. I'm just proud of him with all he went through, everything he went through, and now he's been successful, playing very well. You know, Golden State's got him a little bit back rolling. I just want to see him just succeed, you know, especially while he's at Golden State. I'm home all the time. I get to go to all the games. So it's a proud father situation, and seeing him every day, and then he texted me and telling me about his new cars and his new everything. So, you know, I'm having a good time with it.
Easier to be a dad than a coach, right?
Absolutely, you know, absolutely. You know, I don't need to coach him. I got some knuckleheads already coaching, so I'm good.
All right, we're getting waved off here. Listen, we appreciate you jumping on as we flip the lights back on, but totally worth it.
I think we're GP. We're going to bring him on up with GP right now. We can bring him Marshawn.
Well, we can bring him over.
We'll have Gary interview Marshawn.
Come on,
might as well keep everybody up here.
See, he's afraid of us, Chris.
Anything new while Marshawn's coming on the Sonics for us, Gary?
You know what? I think about 3 years we should be okay.
3 years we're okay?
And I'll be right back up here with you guys.
Okay, let's bring him on up to interview.
Yeah,
you got to get into it.
Yeah.
You got to get
Here
into
we go.
it.
Go ahead, Gary, take it over.
Paul and I are not going to talk. You take it away, Gary.
You know, hey, you know, what we here for?
We're here for the people. That's what we're here for. We're here for the people. You know what I mean? It's a pleasure to be here. It feels good to be back up here, too, but I just want to say I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But I think I'm getting an award or something
Yeah,
like
humanitarian award.
Well, we giving you something. We'll get you something.
that. A little something like that,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
I mean, you know.
What's that mean to you, Marshawn, to get an award like that?
I mean, to be honest, it's special because, you know, I don't do the work with thoughts of receiving something. So because somebody paying attention to what's actually going on, I feel honored.
Hey, Marshawn, we look out there, and Gary, both of you can answer this. This is Seattle, and I know you both have roots to California in Oakland, but Seattle is also part of your home, and this is a home for both of you. Just how special is it to be here for this, and what did Seattle mean to you guys?
Well, first to start off,
That's okay. It's all good.
You feel me? This OG pimping right here. You understand what I'm saying? So this is always a blessing for me. But then to know that he came up here and did it, and then, you know, to walk the footsteps from, you know what I mean, from being from Oakland, California, and then coming and walking the same streets in Seattle and putting on for the city. It's something beautiful and it's something special. And I'm pretty sure when he was here, he had. And now when I was here, you know, we had the city on fire. So to have us up here at the same time, we gonna do the night.
You can have a show on your own.
Hey, but look
the beauty of being on digital.
He just real. Shit, that's what it is. Be real.
But he went right to you because he wanted you to present.
Well, yeah, you know, when he asked me and they told the people who he wanted up here, I got to do it. This is my young, like I told you, this is like a young brother to me. I represent him to the fullest, you know, and that's what he is. I'm very proud of him because what he's doing now off of the football field and showing young kids that he can be something else in an athlete. He's using his athletic ability to come back now and do commercials, do things for the community. What you guys don't understand about him is that in Oakland, California, he owns a lot of things, and he makes a lot of things come back. He give restaurants, he give people somewhere to eat. He bring back a lot of things with the communities and stuff like that, and people don't really get to know him like that. But he just keep it real, he keep it raw, and that's why he's one of the guys out of Oakland, you know, and I love him to death.
Marshawn, before we let you go, because I know there's a lot of people watching, a lot of people waiting, but what are you enjoying most right now about what you're doing in life?
You said most?
Yeah, you're doing a lot of different things.
Well, he got a movie, y'all didn't see it. His movie was pretty good. You know what I'm saying? We had something in Oakland. We had a premiere in Oakland. It was pretty good. Yeah.
He did good?
Yes.
I mean, you know, I did my Dougie, but I mean, you know, most of all, I mean, I keep it simple as living. I mean, we in some tough times right now, and yeah, I mean, got a lot of people passing, and I mean, the biggest thing that I'm really enjoying is just living, breathing, the simple things in life. I mean, left, right. If that makes sense to you,
No,
and if not, don't worry about
That's
it.
well said.
That's
well said because
probably went over your head.
You gonna catch it up? You gonna catch it up?
Yeah. But the left, right is probably the.
You know what? That's well said. I mean, because sometimes people lose perspective of what's going on around them, and you clearly have not.
Most definitely.
Yeah. Well,
but
listen.
Thank you, man.
Thank
I appreciate it.
Great to see you.
Yes, sir.
All right, Gary, we'll let you go too.
Appreciate
Thanks
it.
a lot.
Yep.
Appreciate
Yep.
it. All right, man. Two Seattle legends right there. Gary
I think
Payton,
that's where you dropped the
and
mic,
Marshawn
Paul.
Lynch.
We just dropped the mic.
Thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed that. And Chris, again, this has been fun.
Hey, Marshawn, GP, Paul Silvi. I can't ask for anything better
Great way
than
to
that,
close
yeah.
the show. All right.